Yo, what is up? It is Ballpark Bro, and I'm back with another video. It is the anticipated 2025 predictions video for the MLB season. We will be going over standings, we will be going over team expectations, over some awards like Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and MVP. Then I will give you guys my predictions for the playoffs as well. Spring training is underway. We are almost there to the beginning of the MLB season, so let's get to it. All right, we are starting off with the Athletics, the homeless Athletics. They're going to have an 80 and 82 record, and let me tell you why. They added pitching. I like their offense. Butler and Rooker, they're going to carry this offense. We'll see if their other extra pieces step up, but I don't really think so. I think they will improve from last year, but minor improvements won't really cut it for me. So 80 and 82 record, they will not be making the playoffs. Talking about a different team that will not be making the playoffs, we have the Angels, and I'll be quick with this. The Angels are not looking good this year. They have a good young core, but everybody else sucks. So they're going to have a 69 and 93 record. Let's hope for a healthy Mike Trout season, though. Going over to a team that I think could surprise a lot of people and become one of the best teams in the American League, we have the Texas Rangers, who added Jake Berger and Peterson to an already stacked offensive lineup. And the pitching is where it's interesting. This pitching rotation could be potentially the best if DeGrom, if Kumar Rocker are at their highest. I think they could be a really good team. I'm predicting them to be the AL West champs, finishing with the 91 and 71 record. I think this division is going to be tight at the top. So that's why I'm going with 91 wins for the Texas Rangers. The Houston Astros, the team that feels like they make the playoffs every single year. This year is going to be different for me. I think they lost a lot of big names. They lost Bregman, Tucker, Presley, Verlander, Kikuchi. These are all established big leaguers, and the Astros just let them go. Yes, they got good pieces back with Walker, with Cam Smith, with Paredes, but those are all question marks in my opinion. I think the Astros had good established players already, and they could have competed again this year. But for now, I think in 2025, they're going to have an 84 and 78 record. No playoffs for the Astros. The Seattle Mariners received no love from me in my offseason grades, and it's very, very well deserved as they had a really piss poor offseason. I mean, look at the offensive stats they had last year in all of MLB. 29th in batting average, 21st in runs, 25th in slugging. That is no good. But with all that being said, I do have faith in the Seattle Mariners. They won 85 games last year with these horrific offensive stats. I think with the full year of Randy and Julio, I think they could add a couple more wins. So they're going to finish off with an 88 and 74 record, and they're going to earn themselves a wildcard spot, and I think they'll be very exciting in the playoffs. We're moving on to the AL Central now. We're going to start off with a team that doesn't even want to try to win. So I'm not going to try with the White Sox. I'm just going to give you guys a record. They're going to be 45 and 117, I think it comes out to. I'm being generous giving them 4 extra wins, but yeah, this team's terrible. Let's move on. Minnesota Twins remind me a lot of the Texas Rangers as they had a down year, but they have a lot of key players returning. The one thing for me with the Twins is, can they stay on the field? I mean, looking at last year, the most games played by a player was Carlos Santana and Willie Castro. Santana's on the Guardians, Castro's still there, but he plays all sorts of positions. You need your main guys to be healthy. You need Royce Lewis to be healthy. You need Correa and Bucks to stay healthy. If they do, they have the potential to be the number 1 seed in this AL Central. But I do think some stuff will happen throughout the season. I think they'll end up with an 85-77 record, and I do think they'll make the playoffs, which, watch out, because I think they can also be a really good team in the playoffs as well. The 2024 Royals surprised a lot of people and ended up making the playoffs, faced the Yankees in the divisional series. They beat the Orioles in the playoffs, surprisingly. But in 2025, I think it's going to be a lot different. I think that a lot of these players that performed in 2024, they're going to have just very down seasons compared to last year. I mean, look at the lineup. After Salvador Perez, you can't really say much about that lineup. It scares me a lot, that lineup. And because of that, I think they're going to really drop. I think they're going to have an 80 and 82 record. Hopefully they bring up Jack Caglione. That'll be really cool. But yeah, I don't see this team making the playoffs this year. The Guardians, who went to the ALCS last year and fell to the Yankees, are going to be pretty good in 2025, I believe. I think they added to the rotation with Luis Ortiz. They brought back Shane Bieber. They definitely strengthened that rotation, which is going to help the bullpen, who pitched a ton of innings last year. But they also added good arms to the bullpen, like Paul Sewald. So I think the Guardians improved. Their lineup is going to do great things like always. They always find a way to score runs. So I think they're going to be the AL Central champs. They're going to finish with an 87 and 75 record. Another playoff team from the AL Central. We're going to be talking about the Tigers now, who had a pretty decent offseason. They added Gleyber. They added Jack Flaherty. But to me, their offense is still not that good. I mean, if you look at the offensive ranks, they're in the back end of most of these categories, which are very important: average, hits, home runs. Yeah, they added Gleyber, but I think a lot of their developmental guys, the guys that they drafted, they need to take a step. Torkelson, Riley Green, Jace Jung, Cole Keith. Can those guys really step it up? So because of that, I think they will step up just a little bit. I don't think they'll be superstars in 2025. So I'm gonna see a 82 and 80 record for them. Now talking about the Orioles, who have been on the up and up for the past couple seasons now. They've been one of the best AL teams in the past 3 seasons. But in 2025, I think they're going to take a step down. Don't get me wrong, I still think they'll do really good. Their lineup is very, very strong. But their rotation is what gets me. I mean, look at the projected rotation that Fangraphs has. It's Zach Eflin, Charlie Morton, Kramer, Sugano, Povich. It's just okay. It's not really a good rotation that you think a top-end team would have. So if they can add during the trade deadline, maybe get rid of one of those youngsters they have, that'd be great. But for now, I think they're going to end up as a wildcard team, finishing 87 and 75. Going on to Tampa Bay, who have a weird situation already. They're going to be playing in a spring training stadium. But I think to me, the thing that hurts them the most is just the division. They're in a really, really stacked division. I think they have the weakest team in there. So to me, in my opinion, they could break out. They could surprise a lot of people. But they're going to end up with a 74 and 88 record. To the New York Yankees, who have had a really, really crazy offseason. I mean, it started off with Juan Soto becoming free agency and choosing the Mets. They did sign Max Fried. They did trade for Devin Williams and Cody Bellinger. Pretty good. But they just lost Garrett Cole right now during the spring training, and that absolutely sucks. I think a lot of people are worried about the rotation, but me personally, I'm more worried about the lineup. I mean, if you look at their 2024 OPS leaders, without Judge, it's Chisholm and it's Bellinger, a guy who didn't play for the Yankees, and a guy who only played half the season for the Yankees. So that lineup really, really scares me. I feel bad for Judge. He's going to have no protection. So for me, they're going to take a big dip. They're going to finish with an 85 and 77 record. The Red Sox are shaping up to be one of the most fun and better teams in the American League. I mean, they added Alex Bregman. They added an ace like Crochet. They added Buehler. They have so much depth, I feel like. They can go to the minors and add great prospects like Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer to their lineup. Talking about the lineup, here's their lineup. As you can tell, it's really, really good. It's very balanced. There's just a lot of youth. There's a lot of energy, I feel like. And this is why I think the Red Sox will become the AL East champs with a 90 and 72 record. Blue Jays is a team that I'm not sure what we're going to get. I mean, they have the potential to make the playoffs. I mean, they have good players. That lineup with that big three of Bichette, Vladdy, and Santander, if they all perform, they could be a really good offense. But they didn't perform last year. So what makes me think that they're going to perform this year? Especially in such a stacked division like the AL East. I mean, look at last year. They didn't produce offensively. They didn't pitch. It's really hard to tell with the Blue Jays, but for me personally, I think they're going to end up with the 80 and 82 record. Very mid by the Blue Jays. So this is how I think the American League standings will finish off at the end of the 2025 season. We have the Rangers, the 1 seed, the Red Sox 2, and you got surprising teams like the Twins and Mariners make the playoffs. I think it'll be very competitive, very tight this year for the American League. A lot of good teams, a lot of very close teams roster-wise, so I think it'll be very, very fun to watch. For AL MVP, there's a lot of good players. You could have gone Judge, you could have gone Yordan Alvarez, Corey Seager, but in my opinion, I'm going to go with Bobby Witt. This guy just has all the tools. The way he ended last season, he was just so hot. He was hitting basically everything. So I think he's going to carry that on to 2025 and having a crazy season. For American League Cy Young, I'm going to go with the guy who had a crazy good year last year. He was an all-star. He got traded this offseason. It's going to be Garrett Crochet. I think that new environment in Boston is going to help him a ton. I think he's going to grow that confidence. He's going to throw a lot of strikeouts. He's going to get a lot of wins with the Red Sox. Just being on a playoff team, I feel like is going to help him a lot. So that's my pick for American League Cy Young. Last but not least, we got the Rookie of the Year for the American League. And I'm going to go with the pitcher. I'm going to go with the guy from Texas, Kumar Rocker. I think he's going to be huge for the Texas Rangers this year. If he does good, I think the Rangers are going to be easily the best team in the American League. He has the stuff to be Rookie of the Year. He can get a lot of strikeouts. If he prevents runs, I think in that big outfield in Texas, he'll be definitely preventing a bunch of runs. So yeah, my pick is Kumar Rocker. Moving on to the National League, we're going to start off in San Francisco with the Giants, who, to me, they're just average pitching. I like Logan Webb, but besides that, average pitching, average offense. In a stacked division like the AL West, it's not looking good for the Giants. I think they're going to finish with a 78 and 84 record. Moving on to the 2024 champs, we got the Dodgers, who had a busy offseason. They added. They got Snell, Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, Roki Sasaki. They brought back Teoscar Hernandez, Kike Hernandez. I mean, this team is just built for another World Series run, in my opinion. They have the depth now. You know, they went through injuries with the starting pitching last year, but they added depth. So, in my opinion, I think this team will be better than last year. They're going to be winning 107 games. Talking about the worst team down the NL West, we have the Colorado Rockies, who have really nothing to look forward to the 2025 season. Maybe a good breakout year for Tovar again. Maybe Brandon Doyle breaks out even more with the bat. But besides that, their division is just too stacked. They're not really good on paper. So for the Rockies, I believe they're going to go 58-104. The San Diego Padres are up there when it comes to high-end talent. I mean, Machado, Tatis, Merrill, Cease, King, great top-end guys. But what worries me this season is their depth. I mean, look at their 7 through 9 hitters they have listed on Fangraphs. It's Jason Hayward, Gavin Sheets, and Elias Diaz. And the rotation is not better either. They rely on a lot of guys that are question marks in my opinion. So for me, this season, they're going to end up with an 83-79 record, no playoffs for the Padres. A team that I can see winning it all this year is the Arizona Diamondbacks, who had one of the best offenses last year. I mean, yeah, they did lose Christian Walker and Jock Peterson, but they added Naylor. I think Jordan Lawler's going to come up. He should be helping the offense. And they also added Corbin Burns to an already good rotation. So this team has it all. They have the depth. I think they'll make it far this year, but they're going to end up with a 90-72 record. Moving on to the NL Central, we're going to be starting off with the Pirates, which is a really disappointing team in my opinion because of the arms they have. They have such good arm talent, but the lineup is just holding this team down. I mean, look at the projected 2025 lineup. Not good at all. The only bats I like in there, maybe O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds. Not good enough. They need to add signed bats. They're going to finish with a 75-87 record. The Chicago Cubs had a really fun offseason. They really improved their team a lot from last year. Let's take a look at the key additions. I mean, adding Kyle Tucker to your team is going to be great, even though it's for 1 year. Presley, good reliever. I think they added very well to their team. I think they improved a lot. But I do not think 2025 is their season just yet. I think they're going to miss the playoffs. They're going to finish with an 84-78 record. The St. Louis Cardinals have been pretty bad these last couple of years, and it's going to transition into 2025 as well. They just don't have the pitching. Their offense is very lackluster. I mean, they got rid of Paul Goldschmidt as well. So I don't see this team doing well at all. Let's see if they trade some pieces at the trade deadline. But I think they're going to finish with the 59-103 record. The Milwaukee Brewers have owned the NL Central for the past couple of years now, and I think that's going to continue in 2025. And for me, when I look at that lineup, I kind of like it a lot. It's youthful, it's energetic. I feel like they're going to manipulate runs in many ways, either home runs, stolen bases, whatever it is. And I think they're going to be atop of the NL Central again with the 92-70 record. Reds, I feel like this is a team that can win the Central. I mean, if all things go right, they have the pitching to it. I like Hunter Green, I like Nick Lodolo, but to me, it's their offense that really lacks. I mean, besides Ellie, they're not really that strong. I mean, look at the offensive ranks. 26 in average is no good. And I think this division just isn't too good. I think they're going to struggle. So, Reds, I have you guys at 81-81. No playoffs for the Reds. The Mets had a really good offseason, adding one of the biggest stars in MLB, Juan Soto. He's just such a good bat. He's going to make this team a lot better. I mean, they already went to the NLCS, and they added Juan Soto. They added Clay Holmes, Frankie Montas, AJ Minter. They brought back Pete Alonso. This team is just as good as it was last year, probably even better. So I think they're going to rack up a couple more wins, and they're going to make it to the playoffs again. They're going to end up with an 86-76 record. The Miami Marlins, a team that has nothing going for them at the moment. They have good pitching. I mean, Sandy's back. Maybe they might try to trade him. They may maybe get a big package for him. That'd be sick. But besides that, Marlins, they're in a tough division. They're not going to do good this year. They're going to end up with a 54-108 record. Without Spencer Strider and without Ronald Acuña Jr., the Atlanta Braves managed to make the playoffs last year in a year where they struggled offensively. I mean, their pitching really carried because in last year, they were 15th in average, 9th in strikeout percentage, which is not good, and 16th in walk percentage. I think this year they'll step that offense back up. I think the pitching will continue to do good. And if all goes well, I mean, they're going to end up with an 84-78 record and make the playoffs. The Philadelphia Phillies had a pretty underwhelming 2024 season, but I think in 2025, they're going to go for redemption. I think they're just the same, if not even better, with adding Max Kepler and getting some depth in the rotation. So I think the Phillies are just going to win the East pretty easily. I think they're going to win about 99 games next year. The Nationals are the last team to talk about the National League, and they're setting themselves up for a pretty good future. Unfortunately, not in 2025, but taking a look at their lineup, they have Josh Bell and Paul DeJong who are over 30, and that's pretty much it. They're all pretty young still. So the more at-bats these young guys are getting, I think the better they're going to be in the future. But for 2025, I think they'll kind of struggle just because it's a really good division. They're going to be 74-88. So here are the standings for the National League. As you can see, kind of obvious. I believe the National League's a lot more clear than the American League. I think that NL East trio is just very dangerous. So it'll be a fun playoffs if it stays like this. Let's move on to the National League awards. So for National League MVP, I'm basically going to guess who's going to get second MVP because I think Shohei Ohtani is going to lock this award up for the next couple of years. So second MVP, I think it'll be Trey Turner. I'm going a bit bold here with this one, but he just reminds me of like an older Bobby Witt. I think he's going to do great for Philly, and I think he's going to be a big reason why they do very well this season. So Trey Turner is your National League MVP. For National League Cy Young, I'm going with the pitcher who's actually the most paid pitcher in MLB, and he plays for the Dodgers, of course. His name is Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and just the way he's been looking, especially in the playoffs and the last couple starts at the end of the season, and then even to start the 2024 season in Tokyo, he looked pretty decent. So if he just keeps that up all year, I think he can easily win the Cy Young. He's got the talent, he's got the stuff. I think Yoshinobu Yamamoto for Cy Young. And last but not least, for National League Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with another pitcher because this pitcher plays in a pretty easy division. It's going to be Bubba Chandler. I'm not sure if he's starting off opening day with the Pirates, but once he joins the Pirates later on in the season, I think he's going to absolutely dominate. In such a pretty easy division as well, I think he'll do really good. So Pirates are getting back-to-back Rookie of the Year pitchers. And last but not least, we have my World Series predictions. You guys already saw the standings, but for the American League side of it, I actually have the Seattle Mariners making it. I don't know, I just think they can get hot and go on a run in the playoffs with that pitching. They can make it to the World Series. And in the National League, I'm going to go with the Dodgers, of course, because they have the best team on the world. And I think it's going to be a pretty close series. I think they'll go to 7 games. The Dodgers in 7. Dodgers are your World Series champs. Well, that's going to be it. Those are all my predictions for the 2025 MLB season. I had a ton of fun making this video, just going through every team, going through their stats. It was super fun. I'm super excited for 2025. I think it'll be a great year for baseball. And yeah, I just hope everybody has a good opening day. And I appreciate you guys watching the video. Peace out.